Well, hello, Facebook. This is State Representative Leslie Harrod here. I am sitting here with my good friend, Chris Hansen.
How you doing, Leslie?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, doing fine. We're getting ready for the session here in just a few weeks, and we have been starting to work on some really important new ideas as we get ready for the January session.
Yeah. So as you guys know, Representative Hansen and I are going into our second session, and there's a lot going on. We're actually working on things that you guys care about. We know because we've seen you guys talk about it on our social media and in our community, which is net neutrality. So as you guys know, on Thursday, the Federal Communications Commission voted 3-2 to end net neutrality rules, which prohibited internet providers from blocking access to websites or charging websites a fee to reach users at faster speeds. Once the rules are enacted, which could happen as early as January of 2018, internet providers can begin to block access to websites and even control internet speeds. Internet providers will be able to set up what is essentially two-way tolling, charging subscribers to access the internet and charging websites to access users.
And I think this is really a big change for how the internet is run in the United States, and it's something that we need to take a close look at in Colorado. The danger here is that you're putting too much power into the hands of just a few companies, and I think as we want to protect Colorado customers, as we want to make sure that we have fair, free, and open access to the information superhighway that enables so many different parts of our lives, we've really got to take a hard look at what these changes that the FCC has just put in, what's that going to do to everyday folks in Colorado and to the customers that use internet services here. We all know that the internet has driven tremendous job growth. It's an economic engine for our state, for our country, and we don't want to do anything that's going to slow that down. And we think that the open access regulations that were put in place in 2015 have been such an important part of enabling that economic engine. And so it's important at the state level that we preserve that access for all of our citizens. You know, it matters to small business. Can they access the internet in a fair way so that they can start new companies and help small businesses thrive and grow? We know that's an engine of job growth in Colorado and other parts around the country. We also know that it leads to more innovation, which leads to more jobs and really creating that next generation of high-paying jobs in the state and around the United States. And so this is a really important topic that we have to get right at the state level as well as at the national level. So right now, we are examining steps that we can take in Colorado, looking at legislative options, statutory options to protect customers. And so we want to ask for your help. We want to ask for your feedback on this issue as Leslie and I and our colleagues on both sides of the aisle, including our Attorney General now, Cynthia Kaufman, who's taking a look at options for consumer protection across the state. So lots of different voices from across the political spectrum taking a hard look at this. And we want you to know we're also doing the same thing here in Colorado, and Leslie and I and our colleagues are going to be working hard on net neutrality.
Yeah, so just real quick, just to kind of bring you guys up to speed on where we are today. So we know what happened on Thursday. In the meantime, we've had some great action from our congressional leaders. Congresswoman Diana DeGette has been very active in pushing Congress to come up with a plan to protect net neutrality. Congressman Jared Polis has talked about what he can do in Washington, but also what he can do right here in Colorado as well, should he take on a statewide position. And, you know, what I really think about when we're talking about net neutrality is what does this mean for the people of Colorado? Who I'm really concerned about are those kids, right? The young people who are in school, in whether they're in Denver or they're in Delta, you know, and how are they accessing the internet? They need to get on the internet to finish their homework assignment. And are we going to block speeds to those kids based on their income and their ability to pay? And I also think about telehealth, which we know rural Colorado relies heavily on, but so do our mental health providers. And are we going to limit access to telehealth for these areas because maybe streaming is going to cost more or going to be an additional package? That is so concerning to me. And then, you know, as you mentioned, the small business owner who uses social media to innovate in their business and to connect with their customers, are we going to be charging them an additional fee? You know, I mean, I think net neutrality is such a big issue that we have to think about these people, right, and who it's going to impact. But we have to make sure that we're also incentivizing innovation, right, and protecting our consumers. So that's what we're going to look at. That's what we're working on right now. And as you can tell, we're here in this office. We're scribbling notes and trying to figure out exactly what we want to do. But we do have some next steps that we're going to work on. Chris and I will be working on this together with our other members. We're excited, and we hope that Attorney General Cynthia Kaufman steps in and adds Colorado to that suit. But it hasn't happened yet. Do you want to talk about some of our next steps moving forward?
Yeah, I think there's a wide range of options that we're looking at. I think there's some uncertainty right now of what can be done at the state level, what cannot. And so we're working with our legal team at the legislature, talking to colleagues across the political spectrum, and we'll be working on this furiously, between now and when the session starts in January. So please stay tuned and let us know how you're thinking about net neutrality. And we'll be looking really hard at this issue in Colorado.
Yep. So Representative Hansen and I have reserved a title. If Congress does not act to protect consumers and also incentivize innovation, we will here in Colorado, and we're looking into those options right now. So stay tuned. We'll be in touch, and thank you for all your support. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.